Since 1982, Active Data Systems has been providing quality document and information management solutions to businesses and organizations throughout the Midwest. They represent the Spielberg line of products of ScanFile and File Director through sales, training, and technical support. In recent years, they expanded the scope of their operation to provide enterprise-level document management and content management solutions not only throughout the Midwest, but across the United States. Mark McClung, president of Active Data Systems, recently provided some of his thoughts as how his company has been able to survive and thrive over nearly 3 decades.
The dream was that I could survive my first year of business and maybe go for year number 2. But after that, it got to be just kind of a habit, and we were successful enough to keep going year after year. But I never dreamt that we would have this kind of connectivity, and it has to do with the business that we're in the world the way it is today, because communication is extremely open these days as far as how you connect with people. Recessionary times tend to give us a wake-up call, if I may. When business times are good, we tend to let things get a little bit too relaxed, and we begin to take for granted some of the major things we should be doing for clients. So it tends to lean toward helping us become a little tighter, a little cleaner, and maybe a little more professional with the way we run our own business. I guess we'd like to pride ourselves in the fact that we have planned and run the business on a fairly lean type of an atmosphere. Now, being lean also allows you the freedoms when 2008, 2009 total actual recessions hit. You are able to come through those just fine, and you keep going, where other companies that have not been so lean, or they're a little burdened with debt, at that point don't make it through those tough times as easily, or maybe not at all. Document management is kind of the big term of what it is our company is centered around, and document management back in 1982 when we began was extremely 100% involved with microfilm. And microfilm at that time was a very economical way to store your documentation in a much more small confined area than what the filing cabinet would allow. And then through the years comes a transition where microfilm now becomes the thing of the past, and we're now trying to digitize all of our records and put them in a more computerized internet fashion. The next thing which you could be alluding to is the next digitized world of document management. Cloud information is a big term today, where cloud document storage and things like that. So change is extremely difficult at times, but change is very inviting. You have to make it inviting, because change is good for our economy. Change is good for people. Sometimes when you least want something to happen and it finally happens, you find out that that was the best thing that happened to me in the world. So change is good, and being lean again and able to move with that change is quite important. When it comes to the question that people tend to ask us periodically is, how many people do you have? It's a question that you wonder exactly what it is they're asking and why. Presently we have like 10 employees that are physically in the building. However, we tend to answer that question more in today's world of partnering with others that are in the professional side of what they're asking for. So we partner with a lot of people to improve our vast awareness of actually who we are and how many people we have. Well, lean falls into the same category of partnering that we touched on. So if I'm lean and I don't have debt, I don't have too much to hold me down, and then I want to partner with someone else and we need to move on some project, at that point I'm not labored or limited because of some expenditure or debt that was holding me back. So we run as lean as possible, and yet trying not to limit our growth possibilities. Sometimes I would think I'm hearing things, but it's more that midnight call that you hear when you can't quite sleep at night that you get this feeling that something or someone's talking to you. But generally what I meant before by listening was to try and listen to the economic engines of your community versus your country. And by that I mean, what is troublesome today? Where does the buyer want to go? How should they get there? And if you listen to the colleagues that are in a similar business as you, because the technology changes so fast, people that we do have here are extremely unique in the positions that they have. They're probably the best that you could find in a 4 or 5 state area, but they each have their own niche of how they can be very helpful. We have some people here that program and actually write code to improve what the client may need. We have others that are support driven 100% for installing and or supporting the product, and I don't think we could find any better. Our staff is absolutely the best that there is. So. Because you prepared by listening, you prepared by some research, and when an opportunity knocks on the door, whatever that opportunity is, you want to be ready for it. So if the opportunity was asking you to go out and borrow some money to get this project in, and you were over debt already, you wouldn't be able to do that. So at this point, Active Data Systems is able to do that.